I'm still very bullish on Echelon Prime and its utility token called Prime reaching the price of $200 during this bull run. That's still my price target. Even though that's not financial advice, people may be thinking, okay, how's that even possible? Take a look at Prime as of right now, it's having a pullback. Well, I think it's no stranger to this because take a look at, for instance, the whole space pretty much is having a pullback. Many altcoins out there, they're not doing the best as of right now. Now, granted, in the grand scheme of things, some of them may have done very good. Now they're having a pullback, so in theory, they are doing pretty good, but again, most recently, they're not doing the best. And when it comes to Echelon Prime, the way you take a look at it is that this project is too good to really just disappear, in my opinion. Take into consideration how, when it comes to blockchain gaming, this could be a big player. Because when you take a look at Echelon Prime more specifically, it's even been noted that, Echelon is a platform that enables games to leverage blockchain features. Now, you may be thinking, okay, again, blockchain gaming, who cares? But really, this could be a big narrative. When you take a look at traditional gaming, we all know that's big. But then I think the next evolution is going to be play-to-earn games, blockchain gaming, and even something like Grandview Research. They do have predictions for blockchain gaming, and they do predict that by 2030, the blockchain gaming market could maybe be worth over $300 billion. That's kind of crazy right there. Now, of course, this is just a prediction after all. There's no guarantee, but I think if anything, it showcases that the trajectory for blockchain gaming is heading in the right direction. Now, again, 2030 is still pretty much 5 years away at this point, but the way you take a look at it is that sometimes people do care about the narrative. Take into consideration how we've seen projects time and time again, do very well despite not having the best adoption. But sometimes people care about what they could be moving forward. And again, these projects that are focused on blockchain gaming, I do believe that it could be a big narrative because, again, the market could be so massive. I think it's just the next evolution beyond traditional gaming, quote unquote, in a sense, because when you take a look at, for instance, why could play-to-earn games be massive? It's because play-to-earn games, theoretically, does give the average individual the opportunity to potentially earn income by playing games. Now, traditionally, this isn't really possible because let's say someone is like, just playing Batman in their living room. Yeah, how can they earn income, right? Let's say they're streaming or whatever, then maybe they could. But then if they're just playing for fun, they can't really do that, right? But then again, play-to-earn games does hypothetically or theoretically give the opportunity to earn income. So at that point, would gaming in general be viewed as like a waste of time, quote unquote? I don't think so, right? At that point especially. Now, of course, I totally understand that there still needs to be a lot of fixing in this space because many play-to-earn games out there, they're just not functional. Like the tokenomics are just out of whack. Like the gameplay is usually very bad. There still needs to be a lot of work there. However, great things do take time and patience. It's only understandable. The market really isn't, that quote unquote developed yet. So I still think there's a ways to go. And I think Echelon Prime, man, this could be massive. Again, because Echelon, they're waiting in the wings. So when that wave for blockchain gaming really kicks in a massive way, they're going to be there. They're going to be standing and waiting for that. That's a genius move in my opinion, which is why I think this is very fantastic. Now, not to mention, when it comes to Echelon, it has even been stated or claimed, right, that they are advancing Web3 gaming with frictionless and compelling Prime utility token that enhances experiences. So yeah, that's a pretty cool statement, I guess. Not to mention, when you take a look at Echelon, something that they're very well known for is their involvement with something called Parallel. Now, when you take a look at Parallel, why could this be great, right? Because it is a digital trading card game, and more specifically, it is a sci-fi based competitive card game. Now, people may be thinking, okay, card games, how do they have a place in 2025? Like, no one cares about that. Well, I think some statistics will actually beg to differ because I think this market could be massive. Take a look at, for instance, according to Zion Market Research, the global trading card game market size is predicted to reach over $11 billion by the end of 2030. Yeah, that's really good, actually. And if you take a look at Prime, going to the price of $200, is that really that crazy? I don't think so. Because if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, at that point, market cap would be around $7 billion, which is kind of like peanuts. That's not even 10% of Dogecoin's all-time high market cap. Dogecoin 1 point exceeded over $80 billion. I mean, this was back in 2021, by the way, a time where I feel like things shouldn't even really be as amazing as what we could very well see this time around. At that time, there was roughly around 300 million crypto owners during the peak of that bull run. Also, In my opinion, the way I view it, far less institutional investors, far less enterprise adoption. As of right now, we have the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, the number of institutional investors and the amount of enterprise adoption is just through the roof. Take a look at, again, the rise of blockchain gaming. I think this bull run could be very special. Really, it's just a waiting game though, right? When you have over, again, 500 million crypto owners, I highly doubt that the bull run is going to be bad. Again, this is more than ever before in history, according to Crypto.com research. This could be something special, but of course, there's going to be pullbacks along the way. I totally understand that. However, I prepared myself for this through dollar cost averaging. So anytime I do an income, I'm acquiring, I'm holding, and I'm just waiting. That's it. Because I never went all in. The beauty about that is that if, let's say, things are going down, which it is as of right now, generally speaking, when it comes to the crypto space, I'll still be able to accumulate more because, again, I never went all in. That way, if something is down, then I can hypothetically take advantage of the quote-unquote dip and then be able to lower down my average cost. So then that way, when things go up, then things could hypothetically be very fantastic. However, of course, it's just a waiting game. I can't say I'm going to be 100% correct because, I'm only speculating, right? However, only time will tell. And historically, we do know that altcoins, again, as a worst case scenario, they usually peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. Based on the last Bitcoin halving event that happened in April of last year, that would actually mean around October this year. So if you think about it, even as a worst case, we do know that altcoins peaking as a worst case again, there's still some time there. I'm not necessarily saying that history is always going to repeat itself. However, I think it's a good benchmark. If anything, I think the bull run is far from over. I mean, really. We haven't seen Bitcoin reach that next level of like 150,000, 200,000, maybe even 250,000, and maybe even beyond. We haven't seen that yet, right? Sometimes the market does need a breather, in my opinion. When things pump up by that much, it's going to have a pullback, but then it's only normal to assume that. At least that's the way I view it. Even Charles Hoskinson, who not only is the co-founder of Ethereum, but the founder of Cardano, he does predict that based on a video that was a part of back in November last year, he did say that in 1 to 2 years from then, he could very well see Bitcoin reaching anywhere between $250,000 all the way up to $500,000. Even his worst case scenario price prediction for Bitcoin is $250,000. If anything, I'd put that into perspective and say, wow, reputable individual like that saying that, I think that means something. Now, he could be wrong. We just don't know, right? He's only speculating, but he's a very reputable individual. I think this bull could be very amazing, but it's just a waiting game. However, even besides that, Prime at the price of $200 during this bull run, that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I still haven't given up on it. I still believe in it, and I'm still very bullish on it. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm up. Peace. Bye.